YouTube Ozick going the GOAT House is back with another 2020 NFL offseason rebuild. This video for the Las Vegas Raiders. About the fifth time I had to do this because I keep saying Oakland, but we're here doing the Raiders video, doing this for every single NFL team going in draft order. I'm playing GM, making some signings, some cuts, taking a look at the cap situation, and then doing a 7-round NFL mock draft. We got you covered here on both channels, the GOAT House and the GOAT House Plus. There's a link in the description and the comments for that new channel. Please subscribe to it, and please follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You'll find the link down below for those as well, and our Patreon link is in the description with extra content. First thing I like to do, kind of break down the depth of the team. The guys in red are free agents. Where could they get better? They definitely can get better at receiver. Honestly, I wasn't in love with the Tyrell Williams signing at the time, and still really not, but he's still a solid receiver. You just need some speed out there. You need some speed. Darren Waller was responsible for most of the production, and he's a tight end. It's something that really can't happen, honestly, even though he's a heck of a talent. Offensive line, just love the improvement from last year to this year. It's pretty much set. Even Brandon Parker, to me, is even a solid option, rotation guy. He's a good run blocker, struggled his rookie year in the pass protection, but just saying, how much I like this offensive line. Even Good's a solid rotation or a backup right tackle. And then, you're set at running back in terms of starter for the future with Josh Jacobs. Derek Carr, first half of the season last year, I was very much impressed with Derek Carr. Second half of the season, he kind of let us down. To me, it's just so hard to find somebody better at this point. So, you're always looking, but, most likely, Derek Carr will be and should be the option there. Everyone's always kind of trying to bring up, though, who will they get? They may be interested in Tom Brady, as I would be too, but will they be able to get him back? Looking at the defense, they really upgraded the pass rush last year. A lot of young players in there. That's what I like. Max Crosby was super impressive. D tackles, there's some good young ones, but you definitely could get better. I do like Maurice Hurst, but you definitely could get better there. Linebackers, where there's a huge need. There's a big need at almost every linebacker spot there. You pretty much got depth guys at this point. And then looking at, the corners, I think, are underrated for the Raiders. Trayvon Mullen's got a bright future. Nick Nelson, if healthy, pretty good in the slot, but they have Nevin Lawson for the slot. Isaiah Johnson's got a future as well, the long corner from Houston. And then in terms of DB, safety, Jonathan Abram has himself future too. And they may have found a kind of a hidden gem there in Eric Harris, but you could get better at that position. We'll see what I have in planned for them here. Cutting. It's tough. They really could, keep Tyre Whitehead. He's pretty productive. He'll help in the run game. But saving $6 million and kind of knowing that you definitely need to get better all around at that position. I'd say why not? And then Derek Carrier really isn't helping you too much. So you don't really need to cut a whole bunch of players. Not really a whole bunch of players to cut, but then it does bump you from $54 million to $62.2 million. So it's definitely a positive. That's $8 million difference? That's an $8 million per year player at least, or two players, and even if it's a 1-year deal. So that's kind of big there. Then we're moving on to who I'm resigning. I like Darryl Worley's game. He has his moments where not the greatest moments, but he has, to me, he was pretty sticky in coverage, and, especially on the outside for the most part last year. I liked what I saw, and still young. I think he's pretty promising, honestly. And that's one that's not going to cost a whole bunch of money. And then same with really the rest of them. Benson Mayowa, a rotation pass rush guy. You have your starters for the future in Max Crosby, and Cleveland Farrell. Maybe you could get better. I think you want to focus on other spots first, though. So you want to keep kind of, and you want to keep the unit together. It really upgraded last year, and I think will continue. And that's the thing. It went up in production, but still not where you want it to be. But the good thing is, it's a unit that to me is going to get better by default each year because it's young. And then I'm bringing back Vontaze Burfict. You have the question, which is it worth bringing him back because he could get suspended at any time. To me, they had a good plan for him. I still think he's a solid linebacker. I think he's very much part of their plans. And you need really at this point 3 starting linebackers. Maybe they want to run with 2. A lot of these defenses running with 2 most of the time. Extra corner, which I think we can see a lot. The Raiders doing a lot of. But Vontaze Burfict, I think I would like him back. He's got to clean up some of the the situations he gets himself into. But I think a solid linebacker. In major signings here, Javon Hargrave, they're missing that nose tackle. I think, to stop the run. They want to stop the run at a much higher level. Maurice Hurst, to me, is like more of a 3 technique. Hankins, solid, pretty productive, just not really, the future. And this team's a future team that could win now. To me, Hargrave's still young. He's proven. It's hard to find these nose tackles. I think they'd be in the market for that. That really just upgrades, the defensive line just like that. And then Patrick Owosso, who I would like, switching schemes, playing in a 3-4 of the Ravens, and had his moments, especially last season, not this past season, but the season before. He looks really good. So still a young talent that's, I think has a lot of upside. I think he starts at the outside linebacker spot in their 4-3. And like I said, they need speed at receiver. Demarcus Robinson, not going to be too expensive. It gets you your speed. But where you sit in the draft, now you kind of limited your needs to, let's get a big-time receiver, a number 1 receiver, and we could use another linebacker. There's not a whole bunch of giant needs at this point. So that's why I focus this way, and free agency also fits and realistic here. Adding Demarcus Robinson could be interesting. And then going to the draft, Henry Ruggs was available with the 12th pick. I take him. So you add even more speed. You add your number. To me, day 1, this is your number 1 receiver. Henry Ruggs with Tyrell Williams, with Demarcus Robinson. If you want to keep Zay Jones, and obviously Darren Waller, the tight end, it makes a lot of sense to me. Pick 19, you get another linebacker. You kind of completed that linebacker. You get Kenneth Murray, Vontaze Burfict, Patrick Owosso. So I like that very much. Murray's going to play inside in a 3-4. He's going to play outside in a 4-3. This guy is very rangy, and he's also very productive as a blitzer, as a pass rusher. We even see him line up in the edge at Oklahoma. So this guy's very impressive to me. Day 1 starter, might be your best linebacker right away. So you just double up on 2 instant impact guys. Patrick Queen's a guy that could be a possibility. He is moving up boards. He actually might not be there at 19. Do you want to take him at 12? Henry Ruggs on the board. You got to go the Ruggs route. And then Kyle Duggar, the safety from Lenore-Rhine. Yes, Division II, standout in the Senior Bowl. You've seen him play center field safety, and we've seen him play really a linebacker spot. Really carried that defense and a captain of that defense. Very impressive dude. I think that would be, a really good pair with a guy like Jonathan Abram. I know Eric Harris was pretty impressive. You could get better there, but you kind of just get that extra safety, that utility type safety that, if you want to have him center field while Abram's in the box, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to have him up at a linebacker spot because you need more linebacker help, and you got Eric Harris and Abram in the back, you can do that. So that was my thinking there. Khalid Kareem fits this defense perfectly. I think this is a Mike Mayock type of guy. He will like Kareem. I think he's very underrated at this point. To me, fits as a 4-3 end, more a rotation guy right there. Pretty similar to Cleveland Farrell. So at this point, you have a really, really good pass rush rotation. You're always looking to add more because you want to get more of those sacks. You don't have that top tier guy. Max Crosby was pretty damn cool. That was a damn good season he had. But Kareem really could take over some reps, some snaps there, more than you think. Colin Johnson was still available at 91. Another, Tyrell Williams type receiver. To me, you need more. You got the speed. You double up on the speed. To me, you need more than that. So it'll be ideal that you get that extra receiver there on the outside. I see Tyrell Williams hurt last year at times. Corner for depth, I think you'll have your starters. Bossy from Wake Forest had a pretty damn good year there. And then a linebacker for depth because it's a giant need. And, at this point, with this scenario, you filled out your starters. You really don't have a whole bunch of depth, cutting some guys there. So just get another depth guy there. But really, once we're through free agency, you really limited like the giant needs where you need impact guys right away. 1 and 2, Henry Ruggs, Kenneth Murray, you filled them. And this team, then it kind of just lies on Derek Carr. You just execute. No more excuses, though. You have the playmakers this time. There was an excuse last year, throwing the ball away a little too much, but it was an excuse. So it just kind of lies on him then. And then going forward, you really shouldn't have a whole bunch of needs. You can decide what you want to do with the quarterback position going forward, say the next year off season. So I really like this plan. To me, even though he got him at pick 12, Henry Ruggs is a top 10 player in this draft, in my opinion, elite speed. Can't wait to watch him at the Combine. We'll have the Combine covered fully as well. Please subscribe to both channels. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram. I'd really appreciate it. Go ahead and like leave a comment. Any fans of any of these teams I do the videos on, love to see what you have to say, who you want your team to go for. Everyone has different opinions, so I'd love to see that. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.